Easy
on.
peasy. I think we are live. And hello, friends. This is Michael with California Travel Videos, and I don't have anybody down in the cellar. They already here, fresh in the live. We have Kevin with the Nomoc Experience and Timoteo from Time4Xploring. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, very good to be
Welcome.
here. Thank you for having me.
Good to see you.
Thank you
This is
for
going to be a
having me also.
three-way today. I mean, how are we going to do this? How about you, Kevin? You do a lot of interviews. Do you do three-ways?
Wow, I never been settled with that question before, but actually it's a menage a quattro because we have my dog who joined me in my friend's house.
Oh,
I actually don't do interviews. I don't perform the interviews. I've only been on interviews, so this is what I don't do interviews.
You're going to be a rope-a-dope today, though, because I think Kevin, I don't know, we're going to have Tim and I think we're going to, since you're the rock star, we're going to have to go ahead and we'll tell you about how about I feel about that, Tim. You want to think you and I will kind of tag team him, do a little rope-a-dope?
Yeah, whatever. Whatever's clever.
Okay, so before we jump in, tell us a little bit how, Tim, you met this gnarly dude and wound up using your awesome talents. And you can tell us a little bit about what you did to his van, his major contribution to his new van, and a little bit about, well, we'll save the adventures with purpose for a little bit later, but let's go ahead and do some things so we can fully psychoanalyze Kevin, okay?
Let's do it.
Sounds good. I actually met Kevin from the Nomoc Experience on, I believe it was Ray's channel, and just started talking and found out that he was also from Ohio, and he is also a veteran of the Coast Guard.
Correct.
And we just started chatting back and forth. Found out that he is here in California at the time, and he was looking for some help with a cabinet build. And I told him, you know what, I can build my own furniture in the house. I've never tackled a cabinet for a van. And he showed up on a Saturday and left on a Monday, and I was able to build him a very well-built dual cabinet for his van. We did have some struggles with the hinges, but we figured that out.
When he says we, he means him.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought when I saw the video, I thought, well, oh, he did it all wrong. It's like, the cabinets were mounted up high and you wanted them down low. I know that probably was just stick, but hey, anything we do to get salaciousness, we gotta have spectacle and drama in these things, right?
Yes. That was funny.
That was very good. Great video. And Ray's also, I see Ray's on house, but before we get to that, Sean was first one here. Good evening once again. And Lisa Lissick, always great to have you. Been a long time since courtside. It seems like it's only was yesterday. And who else do we have here? We have the water boy, and I think we have a happy water girl. Not just a water girl, but a happy water girl. Good to have you guys here. And who else do we have here? Oh, they're coming in. Thank you all for being here. This is going to be a great show we've got tonight. I am very excited about it, but I guess that, gosh, oh man, they're just coming in. Now, Ray, be sure to talk about van life does rock, and I know that Kevin will have to talk a little bit about your good time down. And Grace and I were having, my wife and I were having a little discussion today. We have lots of discussions. This is the way we grow. And it was like, was it the Alabama Hills? And she's no, it was Alabasca Hills or something. But I thought it was Alabama. What hills are they?
It's the Alabama Hills.
Ah, Grace, for once in my life, we're not wrong.
Even when you're married, though, even when you're right, you're wrong.
That is true. That's the best way to go. My father taught me that one. And TGIF, good to have you here. She's always around. Some of these people are just everywhere, and we thank you for your support. Outdoor Adventures with Ron. Hello, Ron. And who else we got in the house here? Do I see some of my old buddies? I did. I can't see their names popping up. Hey, Tim, more bang for your buck.
Hey, what's
So
up,
we've
Tim?
had two Tims, not one, but two for the price of one up there at Alsea Falls. I keep
Ooh.
on want to say Alicia Falls, but we don't say the A. Alsea
Right.
Falls up by Eugene. And the two Tims, you guys had a good time up there, didn't you?
Oh yes, most definitely did.
And we've had Mo Bang for your buck, Tim, on our show before for an interview. Great guy. And if you ever get a chance, go see all these people's channels. Tim, for sure, is a lot of fun. And Outdoor Adventures with Ron. Good to have you here. I'm not sure what you're up to today, but back to Kevin. Kevin, where are you today? You see at our friend's house. And I know that you're in Southern California, but I saw your video, learned a lot about a beautiful water in the background, and the truck was trying to go up the hill, pulling the boat. But I never could figure out, which part of SoCal you were in.
So I'm in Lindsay, South Carolina, California, which is just
Lindsay.
an hour north of Bakersfield. You want to do something fun?
Got it. Yeah. Okay, so you're more
let's do
Central
something fun real
California.
quick. I just thought of something. Since we only got nine people in chat, with your permission, I'm going to go live and we're going to push those people over here.
Oh, sure. I mean, hey, why not? More bang for your buck, and let's go and have a hearty party. So bring them on over. We'd love to have some company.
Let's see if this works.
Okay. So he's going to do some of his magic. He does things, with a mobile device. His laptop, I've got these like big, 17 or 19-inch laptops. And yours, I noticed when you're out in the field the other day up there, you were at Lindsay. It was kind of like just a portable size laptop, like it should be, right? You must have good eyesight, Kevin.
It's a 17-inch screen. It's more of a gaming laptop that I bought a couple years ago to play video games at work. But I actually use it now. And if anybody from work is watching, I played video games at work.
We played video games too, because, it's good to have a simulation to make sure it's a diagnostic to make sure that the memory and all the disk drives are working. That's our story, and we're sticking to it. And I see Fordman Kenneth. Hey, how you doing, Kenny? Good to have you here today. Welcome.
Tim, are you having trouble with his audio?
No. He is out now.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with his audio.
With whose audio?
Okay, you're back. Your audio cut out for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I bumped it. Excuse me. I get kind of excited when my hands start flying a little bit, so I'm clearing for takeoff.
If you know what I mean. In a studio tin can. Is that what you're picking up too, Tim?
No, not really.
Oh, it might be my headset then. Let me.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Check test 1, 2, 3. This is a Heil PR40.
It might be my headset. It's clear now. So we've got 14 in the house. We got 20 in the house. I'm going to interrupt your live stream for 1 second so we can get some people to bunch over to your channel.
We'll do that.
And
we want
let's
a
do
good
a
party.
Live raid. What do you guys say? We got 30 in the house, guys.
Okay, come on down. There
if I can get somebody in chat to link California Adventures. Is that the name of the channel?
California Travel Videos.
So my audio is cutting in and out. I think it might be because of the phone. If you guys can, go to my community page. Please go to my community page, and you'll see a link for. I'm being interviewed right now with my good buddy Tim from Time4Xploring, and we got Mike. If you could see his pretty face, his silver lioness hair that he's got going on. There you go. Thank you, Sean S. for linking that. We got 40 people in this chat right now who need to all go over. Ooh, and I just lost the stream. We are buffering.
Oh,
okay, we're back, guys. Let's all go on over with Mike on his channel. I'm ending the stream now. Check out my community page. Sean S. just linked it. I'm out. We'll see you guys later.
Okay, and here they start to come. I do see them: Cody, Amy, Diane, Christina, Michigan Free, Michael Santana. I like that name. Lillian Tittle, and they are coming in fast and furiously. So great. Thank you for that. And they're going to be coming in as we'll talk a little bit more. And I guess let's go ahead and start asking some of these juicy questions. But before we begin, I want to thank both of you for your military service. And I didn't know that both of you were in the Coast Guard. So where did you start your first training program?
I'll go first. I was actually in the Navy.
Oh, Navy. Oh, that's right. You did say that. I remember you when we saw you. That's right. Yeah.
Yes. And I joined in '92, and I had a mishap on board the aircraft carrier where I broke off the end of C6 vertebrae in my neck, and I was medically discharged back in '95.
Wow. Well, man, we especially thank you for your military service on this Memorial Day weekend. So, wow.
Thank you.
That is Huh, amazing. And I bet, where did you start then now with the Coast Guard? Can you hear us?
Yeah,
One, two, three, four.
my audio problems are completely fixed now.
Awesome. Okay. So where did you start your Coast Guard training?
I start my Coast Guard training in boot camp in Cape May, New Jersey, and then I was on the United States cutter Gallatin, which was out of South Carolina, Charleston, but we sailed the whole Caribbean for 2-3 months at a time. We'd come home for 2-3 months at a time.
Caribbean. What was your military occupational skill back in those days?
I was the guy who would I would drive the small boat chasing drug runners.
Oh, no wonder. I see. Now that kind of explains how you got in the police force and things. You were kind of like, you had it in your blood there. So that's really interesting. I have some of my buddies here. One was the commander out at Two Rock. I don't know if you know where that is, but that's a big training center for the Coast Guard right up here outside of San Francisco, about 40 miles north.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't spend any time out west or in the Pacific Ocean when I was in the Coast Guard. It was all the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean. And I mean, not unfortunately, the Caribbean's absolutely beautiful. I've seen every Caribbean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'd love to go out that way too. So yeah, like I say, thank you again. And we're going to have a good Memorial Day weekend and a good time too. We have I think an hour and a half to do some getting into the juicy stuff. Like I said, we'll save the adventures with purpose. I'm sure a lot of your people here can't wait to hear some new aspects of that. But how about for an icebreaker? I've got to do something, Kevin, that I know I can't do as well as you, but I'm going to try it.
Like Spike.
No? He does this kind of like... You hear how look at this guy? He's got so many talents. And before he even gets started, you got to find out his talents. But he does another one with the cheek thump. Give us one of those cheek thumps, whatever you call it.
The water drip.
Yeah, the water drip.
Look at this. Man, I guess because I was in the U.S. Army, the regular Army, they didn't teach us these things.
You guys didn't have time. You were too busy cleaning your shoes and brushing the toilets with toothbrush.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. Or like my father. Well, I won't tell you what my father said in my military service. We'll save that one for after a couple of toddies. But, when you have another talent that I wasn't sure if anybody covered with you. But before I saw Paula's out, Paula, of course, she's got it with Van Vita Travels. But some of your different accents, it's like you have the man of a million accents. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I only knew the ones that people around me. So yeah, for sure. Don't you know when I was around some of the Indians? Yeah, very much. They had lots of good things to say, and they spoke very quickly like this. So your native nationality, is it more Irish with that nice reddish hair you've got?
Actually, people from Ireland don't normally have red hair. It's mainly Scotland. People in Ireland are 90% have dark hair, black hair.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah, that's an American myth. Think that everything red is Irish.
That's true. Well, at least some of the liquor they drink is. I know that.
Well, actually, over in Ireland, they don't put red dye in their beer either. That's just another American thing that they've done.
Is my broken? I mean, you're next thing you're gonna tell me French fries don't come from France. I mean, that'd be terrible.
They actually really don't.
I've had a French foreign exchange and tell me just ain't no way that happens. No French toast either.
Nope.
So you've done some interviews with let's see, I guess with Ray, of course, when you're down south. Really cool. We love Ray and Paula and Gina. She was up there at Oregon also. You guys had a rad interview beautiful. Also, and I'm trying to think. Forever, I guess. Let's see. Forever best friends when you were out in Tennessee. So, for those of you who don't know, this guy I think his axiom is it's hard to hit a moving target. Now, Tim, you're still pretty much homebound, although you did do about 30 some states. You were telling me 31 or whatever states, and you went, I don't know, some 6,000-7,000 miles. That's easy peasy for Kevin, but how long ago was that when you took your around the U.S. trip?
I went back in August 2019, and I went through 32 states and 11,000 miles in 2.5 months.
Wow,
that's Nomoc-ish.
Right?
What did you do? Like in 3.5 days, you did 3,000 miles or something like that?
Yeah, it was 2 times this year. I went from from Toledo, Ohio to Boise, Idaho and back, which was 4,000 miles I did in 4.5 days. And I was dropping off a dog that I was fostering to a returning service member who didn't know that
Oh.
I was driving his dog out to him. So, and I only had 4 days off because there was I think it was Memorial Weekend a year ago now. And yeah, I drove. Wow, time flies. But yeah, I drove the dog out there, got back to Ohio in 4.5 days, and then lo and behold, I guess I have some talent for it because I just went from Virginia Beach to basically the Pacific Ocean in 3.5 days.
Yeah, you
That's
must
a
have
lot of
forgot
driving.
something. I had to go back and get something. Was that what goes on with him, Tim? I don't know. You probably know better about his modalities than I do.
His
So I guess you have
cosign?
2 dogs, right? You have Bella, which is kind of more like our Siberian Husky, and he was a rescue dog also. That's your Timber Wolf, and I guess it has some also of my favorite German Shepherd. Is that right?
Yeah, I've got so Bella is a Timberwolf German Shepherd. She may be 50-50 or 25-75, more German Shepherd than a wolf, but many different veterinarians have said, yeah, it's 50% pretty much. We can tell by looking at her. I don't know. We're never going to know. And then Barrett is the all German Shepherd, and he's the dark tan and dark brown dog.
Boy, so I'm kind of curious now. Your van is, I don't know, is it 18 feet or how long is it? About 20?
I never really measured. It's got a 139-inch wheelbase.
Right. So I guess do you have to have like extra duty springs to carry all their dog food, or how does that work?
No, I keep about 30 pounds on hand. And if it gets down to half full, then I just fill it back up. But yeah, it's the weight of the dogs that actually, Bella and I have both lost weight though, since we started van life. Yeah, she's about, I would say 85 to 95 pounds now. And I'm about 180 and Bella or Barrett's about 95.
Not bad. I mean, that's like you say, it adds up a little bit, but it's not like one of your buddies you said had a 350, I guess, or whatever, and he had a really heavy van. So you've got, it's still moderate, but you haven't. In fact, on this trip now, aren't you kind of starting to do the build out? I mean, Tim started you off with the shells, but what's the next plan? You're going to do insulation, I guess, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I've been working pretty hard, I say, the last 2-3 days for this van build. When I first got this van, I was able to put a subfloor in and some vinyl with insulation. I also soundproofed the whole floor, $500 worth of soundproofing from end to end, just on the floor and the wheel wells. And I built a floating bed then to be able to store things underneath it. And I had 2 long or gigantic dog beds in there. And that's the way I've been traveling for the last 2 months. Now that I'm back here and my solar's showing up here, I just decided this would be a great time for me to finish the build since my solar is going to be done. Tim's always got to throw that toy for his dog.
Right?
Yeah. So now I'm building a permanent floating bed in the back. It's going to be completely in the back, just a twin size. And then below it's going to be a full size memory foam dog bed underneath. And then cabinets are going in on the floor on both sides, the driver's side and the passenger side, with a path walkway through on the opening of the side door.
Nice. That sounds really sweet there. Do you get most of your ideas from a certain of the people? I know you watch a lot of different channels, and I guess Van City Van Life, he's always tweaking. Some people are more things. And if you take a look kind of more, I don't know if you call him minimalist, but Ray just does an awesome job, gets a lot of bang for the buck, speaking of which. So what's your philosophy on your design?
Well, you got 2 different extremes there. You've got the ridiculous build out from Van City Van Life when it comes to chrome. And then you've got the no build, which is Ray from Van Life Rocks. And I think, no offense to you, Chrome, but the amount of weight that he has in there and the amount of storage and the things he has, probably perfect for him. But an absolutely ridiculous build. I don't think it needs to be like that. But I'm not him. Everybody's got their own favorites and things they want to do, and I'm not faulting him at all.
No,
but man, that would cost me 10 miles to the gallon to have. He's got to be weighing 8,200 pounds. I weighed in when I cleaned my storage facility out in the new van. I had to weigh in with all the stuff that I was throwing away, and then I had to weigh out when I was on the way out, and I was only 3,800. No, I was 5,200 pounds with my dogs and all the food and everything in it. So I'm looking at probably about another 500 pounds to maybe 700 pounds for the build out. So
Not bad.
I'm going to be under 6,000.
But it sounds like you're
That's good.
really conscientious. Did you learn this from the military where you had this discipline, or the police force? We'll talk about in a little bit. But where did you get this kind of? That's right. You got your electrical engineering. Is that where you kind of got so astute on all this?
No, my dad was a home builder. Kitchens and bathrooms, mainly my whole life. So I've always had tools, and I've always had the unlimited amount of wood to play with when it comes to building forts and things like that. So I'm a very, very, at best, professional novice. I never use a pencil, I never use a ruler, and I never measure twice.
We are brothers from another mother. Whereas Tim, on the other hand, Tim, you when I saw you working with the tools, all the tools you have, and your
Yes.
techniques, is like, where did you get all your skills on this?
I taught myself.
Wow,
Self-taught.
you're good.
Just like Kevin mentioned, building forts. I learned how to operate a lot of tools from my dad back in the day.
Awesome.
But after that, it's basically just self-taught. And with
University of YouTube.
Kevin,
So
right?
true. Guilty is charged. Oh, instead, let's do this one.
Oh, nailed it.
Definitely nailed it.
So when Kevin gave me the ideas of what he wanted to do in his van, we measured it out briefly Saturday evening, and then later on at night, I checked out some cabinet builds. The one was from the Matinees, and I somewhat followed their style, especially for the center board, because that's like the major anchor point for that whole closet or cabinet build, especially with the ends. So I mimicked that in my own way. I created all the drawings Sunday morning, and then accounted for all of the supplies that we would need for that, and just basically went from there.
Where do you get your supplies? You have to order a lot of them then, or did you just find them at like Home Depot or something?
We went to Lowe's.
Oh, Lowe's had
Yep.
them. Okay, good to know for
Yeah.
everybody else who's looking to do these. Take a look at some of Tim's videos. Did a great one there on the build, and so I'm sure that go ahead.
Maybe he could prove himself further, because it's just cabinets. How hard can they be?
I love it.
So
Just a
may-
cabinet.
Well, Kevin's
how-
like,
how can
I
you-
would have had that done in a few hours. And here it's like, I don't know, 16, 18 hours later, and it's done.
Yeah, but
it's
you had some
sturdy.
supervising, right? You look, he's above you right now. Doesn't he like to supervise? I mean, he's got management material, right? In fact, speaking of which, we'll talk a little bit more maybe about your profession, but you're in the Silicon Valley sector and doing like OEM chip testing and things like that. How did you wind up in that profession, Tim?
Basically, I grew up in Ohio, in Toledo, Ohio. After I injured my neck, I went through many different small careers. I was a security officer for a couple years. Then I joined the post office. I was a mail carrier for a couple years, and my neck and back was just getting worse. I was involved in a car accident leaving the post office,
Oh my God.
and the guy ran the red light through a corner parking lot and literally launched in between two trees into the back of my my 4x4 Blazer above
Man,
the
thank
tire.
goodness you had a 4x4 Blazer anyway. Wow.
Yes. So after that, that ended my my career as carrying mail. So at the time, I was building websites, and my older brother was like, my older brother lived in the Bay Area in Hayward, and his roommate is a manager for Advanced Micro Devices, and he actually hired my brother as a contract worker. And when Chris found out that I was on the Family Medical Leave Act, he said, "Hey, I know you love working on computers, this and that. Scott just hired me. He has another position available. Would you want to come out here, get your feet wet in California? You can live with us for a while. And I said, sure. Just let Scott know when I can interview. I interviewed with him and got the job. And I worked for Advanced Micro Devices for 4 years and then was laid off. And what I did at Advanced Micro Devices was processor validation. So we had to test a bunch of peripherals, the NIC cards, the video cards, sound cards, network cards, SCSI cards, hard drives, all sorts of different software. So, but they eventually laid us off after 4 years. And I told my brother I'm moving up to Sacramento because it's a lot cheaper up there.
Mhm.
I was laid off for a year and 4 months. I went back and got a bunch of computer certifications through Microsoft, and I eventually landed a job at Intel where I've been 16 years now.
You know, Intel just sent me a job opportunity. They heard that I was bilingual, wanted me to work for their customer service department.
Oh, okay. Sounds cool. Can you do
I was
Can you
wondering
do it
where
in
this was gonna
Can you
go.
do it in Chinese?
No, it's just basically for the people that answer the phone. What are you talking about? I do not have the question you need to answer. Okay.
Yes,
I'm
and my
sorry
name
you're
is
having your
wrong. My name is wrong.
Titty tick buck buck what?
So I'm very sorry you're having trouble. I am very, very sorry. I understand, and there's nothing I can do.
Oh, damn! I got some curry on my clothes.
We got a visitor.
Yeah, but
He's so adorable.
hey, there's the Duke.
Yeah, he's so
Duke.
adorable.
Yeah, what a guy. I mean, this guy, when you put like Kaliki, I can put like something on his nose and he'll wait there. He's not going to wait hours like Tim would do. But, I say, okay, he'll catch about half the time. But when you see the Duke, you don't even see the food go in the mouth. All of a sudden, Duke is just walking away. Where'd it go? It's magic.
He flips it so quick.
He flips it so quick. It's like, it's gone.
Hey, Duke,
So-
they're all saying hi to you. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is cool. We got a lot of great people out there. I'm sorry I'm not getting all your comments. I hope Grace is doing a good job. My bride
there's
is there in the
Kaliki.
corner. And
There's
oh,
Kaliki.
look at this. Speaking of which, speaking of the angel, how's Kaliki doing? You just took him out on a walk, didn't you? I shouldn't say that word. You'll want to go again.
Right?
Looks
Hey,
like she is
I
muted.
did.
Oh, there
One
she
puppy
is.
to another. Back to the
Yeah,
basement.
that's right.
Yeah.
The pups. So nice. Thanks, sweetie. So anyway, yeah, speaking of the industry though, and having been around the block a couple times, Tim, is that Kevin, so you had worked you worked for the police department for a while. Didn't get rich there. I mean, it's like it's a shame when you think people have to put their lives before them, just like the military, and it's unless they get overtime, blood money, it's like it's hard to make a living out of it. And so then you studied evenings, you got your engineering degree, and for 5 years you went through the apprentice program until you knew enough to be dangerous in the automotive industry. But you said during that period, and I guess always, they go through a boom bust cycle, don't they? Is that what you kind of found?
For my profession as an electrical engineer, which is basically all we did was PLCs, which is programmable logic controllers. There are, if I can be literal, 10,000 jobs open and only 1,000 qualified people to do those jobs. I didn't have to cut my teeth at all. I went into college and I was hired as an engineer. I was hired as a laser technician. And within 6 months of me being a laser technician, they're like, do you want to be an electrical engineer? And I was like, yeah, that's what I went to college for. And they're like, here you go. So I got into this field, and that's where I learned that the PLC side of engineering was so prominent. So in that, I learned if you quit within the first year, you can go make twice as much money with somebody else because they want you. And so I did. I quit and I went to another company. They paid me twice as much as I was making before. And then I did that again, and I got 25% more because companies don't want to give you raises. They would rather lose you and hire somebody cheaper.
Right.
And so I got really, really lucky in my engineering career, but that luck led me into realizing how corrupt manufacturing is and how political, and they destroy people. So I was not going to let that happen to me. I was like, I'm going and seeing this country. I'll be poor again. I don't care. See ya.
Yeah, but you found out what the true meaning of life, and it reminds me of Billy Crystal, and City Slickers, and he went to Jack Palance, and it's like, what's the secret? He was the mystic man, and it's like just one thing. And he went away. Well, what is it? And his buddies, well, I don't know. So he goes back in. What is the one thing? And Jack Palance says, you have to find that for yourself. And you went from having your dream cars, your vet, and a Porsche, and all these nice, great homes and everything like that. And you realize this.
I wish that was just those two cars. I really do, but it wasn't.
Yeah. You said you got like a van, which is the way you could transport your dogs to getting them clean, which is wonderful. You take good care of your friends, you take good care of your dogs, and that was kind of part of the launch board to get you into this nomadic life.
Yeah, I was just YouTubing how to remove, seats out of a van, and up comes all these van life videos of people building out vans. Had planted a seed. I watched a lot of YouTube at work, and
that's funny.
And hey, they made me work the night shift, and there's nothing to do. I mean, like, what am I going to do? So
on that T-shirt, yes,
yeah. So seed was planted in my head, and then 6 months later, I was building a van out to live in.
Mm-hmm. But your about page, it reads like a mission statement. And I'd like to take just a minute, because I think it's so good. You're so grounded. And it says, my purpose with this YouTube channel is to create content for viewers that not only experience my adventure, but also to be able to live through my experience, I guess vicariously, as a means of entertainment, having a connection, and to just follow along as if it was their own journey. That is such a cool way. I live in a van, and hopefully with as little destination planning as possible. Sounds like Grace and I so far. I also will be doing product reviews, which is the secret sauce, the DIYs. And Tim, we're going to get to you in a minute, because I'm looking at, going to Social Blade or things, and like that's been the heavy hitters for you as well. But then you go on to say live streams and giveaways. Also, I will be providing tutorials and edit videos, your bane of your existence, as if by a smartphone or a PC. This is an interactive channel, and I look forward to interacting with as many of you as I can. And that's it sounds like a wonderful brand. Is that, you still espoused to that, or has anything changed since you wrote that?
No, I'm actually glad that you read it, because I haven't seen that since November or December when I wrote it. I put that on there before. I did that at work, sitting behind my desk is when I wrote that. And it took me probably a good couple of weeks of planning to figure out the best way to describe what I wanted. It's kind of surreal to even hear that, because what I wanted out of van life with no experience, and that's what I wanted. And I'm now that I've heard that, it's so important to me to be able to accomplish everything that I'm setting out to do, which the most important thing for me was to have people experience what they can't experience, because they do have careers, they do have responsibilities and families they can't leave, to be able to take them along for the journey. Also to be able to figure out if this is something they want to do for themselves, either now or weekenders or in some point down the future. And to be able to hear some of these comments and emails that I'm getting saying, I'm buying a van, you have inspired me, you're helping me out. And also I always knew that after I got to a level of monies incoming, that I wanted to pay that forward and not get rich off of YouTube by any means. I just want enough money in the gas in the tank and food in the belly, and my dogs to be fine, with maybe 10% of that going into savings further on down the road, but take the rest of that monies once I'm big enough where I can do this, and to help other people build vans out or purchase vans for them, or equipment, batteries, refrigerators, whatever, to get them into van life, because it's not cheap. I'm fortunate enough to have a career that led me into being able to buy all this stuff before I got into van life. So I just want to be able to help people who can't do that on their own. YouTube's paying me. I want to pay people that support me through the YouTube money to be able to build stuff and things for them in the future.
Perfect. Yeah. I guess for you, Tim, is that you've not just got off the turnip truck. You've been around the track a couple of times. And so I guess how many more years do you think you'd like to go?
Before I retire?
Yeah, or, you start doing more. I mean, obviously, you were able to get away for a while to do those 31 states, which was cool between jobs. So is that will be kind of, you're just going to wait to see how the stars move, or do you have some kind of a master plan, or how do you see it folding out?
There is no master plan, except staying with Intel right now, because I'm actually going through an acquisition merger with South Korea Hynix Memory Group, where South Korea Hynix Memory Group bought out our NAND memory group for $9 billion. I don't know how much I can say about it, other than we are going through the different state commissions to allow this acquisition merger to go through. By the end of the year, it's a good possibility I will be a South Korea Hynix member of that company, and I have to at least stay for a year if I want to keep the sign-on bonus. Or I have to pay that back. And then the other caveat to this is, with my neck and back disability, do I retire early? So in short term, I'm staying with Intel and the new company, and I'll let my life unfold. And if I retire early and I hit the road full time, I'll sell my house, all my belongings, buy a place in probably Kentucky. That would be my home base, and then I can chase 70-degree weather all year round.
You sound like Eric, Nomadic Fanatic, and the rest of them. And oh, by the way, going back, Kevin, when you were talking about heavier vehicles, so you see like Chrome, and he's got like a ambulance, and you see like who did it most recently was
out of here.
Okay.
Your phone?
My phone and the medical kit.
Sounds like he's reporting to the boss there for a second. But so some of these people get ambulances, and so Cheap RV Living, I guess he's just recently bought himself an ambulance because he wants to record in his studio, and the studio's going to be in his bigger rig. And Paula, that was she did a lot of planning ahead of time when she got her ambulance. So I wonder if at some point the van people all end up in ambulances. I don't think that's the case. I doubt I can see Ray going that way, but it is kind of interesting. I saw somebody else just popped in there, and that was Redheaded Riding Hood. So good to have you here. And she's got kind of like ourselves and Tim and, the Class C type of thing. And I thought, Kevin, for sure you and I were like kissing cousins, because when you were down with Ray at Alabama Hills, I'm seeing you in not just a Class C, but a Fleetwood frigging Icon, which is exactly what we have. And I thought, oh, that's your unit. But did you rent it, or were you staying in somebody else's rig then?
No, the couple that I'm with right now, they bought that probably 2 months before I got here. Okay. And I was in my old van at the time, and I was like, hey, I'm going to be going out to Alabama Hills. If you guys make a long story short, they're like, are you taking your van? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, why don't you they call it the glam van. They're like, why don't you take the glam van?
Well, they're very smart, sexy people. I can tell you that, if that's the rig they have.
Yeah. So it's a 2010. It only has like, I think 30 or 40,000 miles on it. I'm not really sure. It
sounds just like ours. Yeah. Runs
like a champ. And I'm like, let me think about it. Okay. Yeah, I'm taking it.
Yeah, but I mean, Grace and I, to have a diesel, it's got enough power, and 10,000 pounds is that we get 15 or 16 miles a gallon. I don't go faster than 65. If I go, 60, I can get 16 miles a gallon. When I go 65, I get 15 miles a gallon. That's not bad for as much. Yeah. Well, Grace will tell you, and she's down there in the basement, so I guess she can hear me, unfortunately, but I do have a lot of stuff, boys and their toys. I mean, I know that you guys have your drones, and Tim has his. We'll get into his RV in a little bit. What's that?
I don't have a drone anymore.
Oh, there must be a story.
You broke it. No recovery.
It is in the bottom of a Tennessee river.
Well, when we get to AWP, we're going to talk. Maybe we can do a recovery of the boys. Okay, Sam, go.
I'm already heading out tomorrow to buy version 2 of that drone. I really could have used it today for the filming I was doing today, and the drone is such a huge part of the channel that I have to get it back. So tomorrow I'm going to go write a big check to Best Buy.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
I got the Air 2. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about. I really love the Air 2. I mean, I have the Mavics and I go all the way back to the Phantom 1 and 2s, but I like that they're light and they're so easy to maneuver.
Yeah.
No muss, no fuss. So yeah, talk a little bit about your strategy for editing, because when I don't know about you, Tim, but also like yours too, because you were on the road like we were for months, and it's like, man, the backlog will kill you, and then there's the editing, and sometimes you didn't save the file right, and all the fun things. But I know that you've talked about the fact is you don't want to be a slave to being an editor, and if it takes half of your day, then something wrong's with that picture. And I think I'm gathering that, yeah, maybe doing more live streams because you like to be more in the community phase. So how do you see that evolving for you?
So I have a really good friend of mine who is a genius when it comes to three things. And when I call him a genius, it's this kid, and he's a kid. He's 18 years old. He's a genius. He is one of the best editors I've ever seen. He knows the most about filming that I've ever seen. And he knows the most about YouTube algorithms that I've ever seen. And he really has been teaching me a whole lot through phone conversations. He says there's two different sides of YouTube, and you either know your side or you're not a part of either side. You're not going to be successful. And the two sides of YouTube are either a connection-based channel, like myself, like Tim's, like Ray's, Paula's, all these, they're all connection-based channels. And then there is a channel like Chrome from Van City Van Life.
Good example who I was thinking of. Yes.
He is a story-based YouTube channel, which is Adventures with Purpose, Van City Van Life. Their niche is editing and filming 7 days a week, 5 days a week, whatever it is, with a live stream every once in a while. And mine and Ray's and other people's were more a connection. I know seriously 2,000 people by name, and they're a part of all these channels. It's a community. Now I've watched a few of Chrome's lives. I've watched many of Chad's lives from Living the Van Life, and they're connected to a few people, but they're not connected to thousands on a friendship basis, because only one reason, not because they don't want to be, only because they spend 90% of their time filming and editing.
Yep.
It's so interesting you say that, because I talked to Grace and a friend of mine, best man, in fact, and about his son. And I said, it sounds like your son, his C to P ratio is wrong, his consumption to production. And Grace will be the first to tell you that's kind of her husband's problem, because I want to learn. And then you're always learning. Well, if you don't produce anything or you don't produce enough, is like, even, what's the stick-to-itiveness when you've learned something? If you're doing Adobe Advanced Editing, and we'll remember it when you finally get around to using it. And so you're kind of more of a kinesthetic kind of guy. That's a nice way of saying you're not ADD or ADHD, but you have a heavy thumb on the Nike just do it scale. Yeah. So I just kind of see is that you don't have analysis paralysis. You just you want more. It's got to happen quick, right?
It does have to happen quick, but always on my right shoulder is the most important thing in my YouTube career is the people who watch it. And I want to be able to give them what their favorite thing is the live streams. I get 3 times as many views on my live streams as my edited content. And that's because I'm a connection-based channel. So I could learn Adobe Premiere and become a master at it and have that side suffer of the live streams, or I could do the live streams and do just enough to make a good quality video once a week and have all worlds come together. And that's the way my heart goes out to Chrome, because he does a video every 5 days and it's really good editing and he's a storyline. But if I were to do that, what I'm learning is 90% of my time is filming and editing, and I don't have time to read emails and to read chat and to read comments, not chat, but comments in videos. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy who can't pay attention to every single person who watches our videos.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because some of the people that are, in that next, well, maybe 2 echelons above where I'm at, that's for sure. But when you get some people, let's see if I give one, is RV Odd Couple. We're going to always answer every comment. And when they got to about 30, 40,000, they couldn't do it. And obviously, Chrome, he's when this live stream goes, it's going by so fast. Only thing you can maybe see is some super chats that pop up. But there are some of the people out there that are over 50,000, and yet they still answer them. I thought, oh, do they really? And so 30 and a wake up, I had that other Kevin,
He's a
and
good
I
dude.
made a comment on one of us, and within a day, bam, and
Yeah,
so,
he's a
he
good dude.
didn't make an emphasis. He might have virtual assistants that help with some of it. I don't know, but whatever, somehow it happens that 70,000, and when you get like 7 million views, and you've got like some of your recorded videos have 3,000 to 5,000 comments. Like, really? You answer every comment? But he does, or somebody
Well,
does.
if I could touch on that for my own experience, I don't see how it's possible, because I would do 2 or 3 videos a week and they would get 100 to 300 comments. I was married to the comments on Patreon and emails. I was married to those 2 full days out of the week. So unless you're doing nothing else, like Chrome even did it. He did what most big YouTubers do. He hired somebody to read all his messages.
Mhm.
And that is a girl out of Eastern Canada. And he's not denying that. He's like, yeah, this is what I did. I had to do it.
Sure, at some point. Mhm.
It's impossible to be a connection based. It just is in my short experience, it's impossible to be a connection based YouTube channel if you're a content based YouTube channel.
Right. Well, I see the video creators, Tim Smoyer, great, and knows everything there is about the algorithms, knows all the people at YouTube and everything. And so he's got 8 people that work for him. And I guess he would be the first to say he's got videos about it. But about 6 months ago, it was too much. He's got 7 kids also, and he had a breakdown, and he just had to get away for a couple of months. And I don't see either of you is going to be where this is a business to where I'm going to have a management company. It's you've got a different business model and a different mission statement, and so I guess it all boils down to: do you know who you are? I mean, it's okay to evolve some, but I guess, like you say, you like to be with the people, which gets to a really good thing, and everybody should be aware of this if you're not already. Is that Kevin has a Patreon channel? I just signed up to it recently. So
Thank you. I appreciate that.
one small, some people have like this, that, or the other. His is $3, and you get the whole enchilada. So tell us a little bit about that one way that you're looking to not to get rich, but at least to kind of pay for your expenses so you can break even on this.
Transparency for money is probably my most important thing when it comes to being a connection-based YouTuber. Is I want to stay connected with the viewers, and I want them to know exactly how much I'm making. Not exactly, but be able to guesstimate. So I left on my Patreon channel how much I make on Patreon. People know how much a membership is on YouTube. So once I get to a certain level of, okay, they're seeing X amount of dollars, which is a big X amount per month on Patreon, and they're seeing X amount of dollars, which is a big X amount on YouTube memberships.
Mm-hmm.
I also am wanting them to see how much financially I'm giving back to the community. It's not, I'm not going to get rich off this. I'm not. If I'm making $100,000 a year, I'm giving $50,000 a year away in helping people and building their channels or their buses or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only going to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't need to be a $200,000 a year YouTuber, because if I'm doing that, I just feel like I'm robbing myself from being connected with the community, because let's face it, greed's the biggest killer of friendships.
Yeah.
on this
Isn't
planet.
it right back where you were before when you were electrical engineer and you got all the good boys and toys and all that stuff, but it isn't really buying you happiness before you were a slave to all this stuff you have?
Yeah. Yeah. And I just like to see other people grow. I like to see other people benefit from the benefits that I've had. I mean, just the other couple months ago, I'm sitting and hating life behind a desk in a job. Literally a month later, I'm sitting in Sacramento in Tim's driveway, meeting 2 cool new people, and he's building me a cabinet for free. Never would think those kind of things would happen. But now I have more friends than I deserve, for one. But every single one of the friends that I have now are very special to me in their own way.
And I've been learning a lot from Kevin. During the whole cabinet build process, we've talked about, how to make my channel better and different things, like editing the videos and stuff like that. So I'm definitely learning a lot from you, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, and it's not stuff that I love it. Toy. I learned a lot from you, Kevin. Whoop. And the best part about friendships like I have with Tim, I even think I told you right in the beginning, I'm not a genius. I didn't come up with this stuff. I learned it from somebody else, and I want to pass it on to you because it works.
Exactly. Yeah. There's plenty enough that all ships are going to rise as the water comes up. So it's not like we have to be stingy with our secrets or whatever. And the industry does change anyway. So yeah, it seems like when you give something, you get back in abundance. So there's no need to be where you've got like proprietary information or whatever.
Yeah. And it's like what I'm reading in chat right now. We got, I love yous, Kevin. I love you for who you are. Kevin, you are so down to earth. And that's why I do what I do, is because I'm connected to these people, and they're as awesome as anybody else on this planet to me. So thank you guys for saying that. Yeah. I'm starting to get a little teary in the eye, but don't make me cry.
Well, yeah, no, and it's a good feeling because it knows that we all like to be, when the day is said and done, validated. We want all of you out there to feel like you're validated too. And so where, I get so focused in this, but fortunately I've got a beautiful bride that she likes to be out there and be helping with the mod stuff, so that, because I'd love to do like Gina, but hey, I'm a left brain kind of guy. So, as much as I like to do that as Paul and Gina, guys, sometimes it's like, well, you do a great job with it, Kevin. But yeah, it shows is that there's plenty of different room in the universe for all these different styles, in terms of what is the value. And if you know that you're community based, now, video creators would say, there's 3 types of videos. One is the discovery videos. And I think that for Tim, a lot of that will help you if you can get good discovery videos like you do with some of your DIY. Those are the ones that get you a lot of views.
Yep.
But, if you're not more interested in views and subs, that's okay too. But then you get the community, which is to people who do the KLT, the know, like, and trust. And then eventually you do the sales video. And not that any of us really do that much selling per se, but if you say you'd like to give value for value, and if they find value is to like joining up your Patreon or being a sub or giving a super chat. I'm hearing like traveling
super chat.
Whatever your thing is. If you want membership size or whatever, yeah, super chat.
But basically, we just have to sell ourselves, and our discoveries, our explorations, our how-tos, our cooking, just finding quirky things on the side of the road that make you happy, and you're like, you know what, I gotta videotape this, and I want to share it. Yeah.
And that is where Grace and I, and we just had in our last video that you saw there, Tim, is that this stuff happens. Like redheaded is like I was mentioned to her the other day, is that she had some problem with her battery, so it's like, okay, let me go over and I'll get a battery monitor. I don't need it in mine, so I hooked it up for hers, and then we did the tire pressure thing because she had some issues there. And then with Gracie, she is like, her also wouldn't run, and she had to use the transfer switch, and the post on the battery was so loose and I couldn't tighten it up. And I said, hey, do you have any aluminum foil? Yeah. So we used that as a shim and got it tightened, and she was good to go. Yeah. She thought I was like a rocket scientist, but
I was there for that. I seen that.
Yeah, that's right. But sometimes it's just, little things. And then if it's really heavy duty stuff, then I get Troy to come on in. So the Rat Pack can help us too. But so we all have things where we add to the pie. And speaking of which, now we're going to segue finally to adventures with purpose. And so, there's a business model where, where they've got, I think over 1 million, 1.2 or something like that, subs now. And so, they have like, get a ton. In fact, on one of yours, you did actually, that supported that. You were helping somebody in the snow out in a blizzard, and you got 6,000 views on it, 400 comments about being a good guy helping people in the snow. Tell us about that. Was one of your big hitters.
Yeah, so it's in Ohio. The snow can come, and when it comes quickly at times. So I was driving to work, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to drive around for an hour or two before I go to work, and I know people need pushed out. So, I grew up in Ohio. Tim, you know what it's like. It's all,
very cold.
It's all perpendicular roads. They're all straight, and they're all
Minnesota for me. I know. Don't you know for sure? Yeah.
Snow up to here.
Yeah. And on each side of it is a canal that is cornfields after that. So people
Yeah.
always,
Exactly. Got to have corn or sugar beets, one of the two.
so sure enough, the first road I turned down, it's got a McDonald's on it. There's everybody trying to push this girl out of the snow. And I kind of chuckle a little bit because I've been doing this for 30 years for front wheel drive cars. You just turn the wheel and push the front end. So that turned in, now that I'm a YouTuber, that turned into, I'm making this funny. Let's go do this. And so
But it's so cool because you didn't, as you were going down the road, you think, well, what am I going to do for a video? And you do something good, but feature this. He's now smart enough, unlike I'm still working on this. He's like, I see an opportunity as a YouTuber. It may or may not be a good one, but it's not going to hurt. So you give one of the bystanders your phone so that you can get a video of you. And it was just the creativity. And you saw where they say luck is when opportunity meets preparation. You nailed it.
hey, now
That's
that
awesome.
And,
it was definitely
Tim,
a fun
he just
opportunity.
I'm sorry. Timmy just talked about that, things that I wasn't going to say when we met up in Oregon about the Intel situation. That's his story. I don't know how much he wants to share, but you're very vulnerable and intimate, which is a great thing in the internet. And then another one, Kevin, that you did was adventure with purpose on your behind the scenes and some funny moments. And, I guess it's nice to have a job where you don't have to be like, oh, this is proprietary or it makes us look bad. And so there's another one that was a blockbuster for you. So it seems like you've got a great balance where you can be yourself and not have to be worried about you're hurting anybody's feelings.
There is one promise: you're always going to get raw Kevin. there's no filter or PG rating when it comes to me. If I'm shooting it, it's funny and I can make it funnier. It's going on TV.
Speaking of which, you and the boss have a grudge. Tell us about that. How we can help you with your grudge.
I actually talked to him on the phone today, and Jared by no means is my boss. He doesn't even, he's a good guy. He doesn't think he's a boss either. But I called him today because two of our friends punked each other. And I was like, hey, it looks like the punk wars have started.
That's right. How can we help?
And I just said, I wanted to make sure that you're not, that you're still even kilt and you're ready to go for this prank war. Cause it's going to be an all fall type of thing. And he's like, buddy, I've already got plenty planned for you. I'm like, make sure the camera's rolling.
Okay.
Like, make sure the camera's rolling.
So he has a matchstick lit, just waiting to light you on fire.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't have the voodoo dolls, that's
right.
I think he's trying to put a little fear into me, but he's got to understand. I was in the military. There's no prank. There's no pranking that can be done that hasn't been done
there
already.
myself. No, that's right.
No, never.
That is too funny.
Yeah. There's only two words. Ring it.
Don't get mad. Get even. So you've got a buddy out in Tennessee that you came from,
Matt Van Halen.
Matty Van Halen, and so you guys are brothers from another mother, also. So he just seems like a really cool dude. I guess you've known him a while. He actually was another one that was kind of influential for you to get into the van life. I
didn't know him before I went to Tennessee. He popped into one of my live streams when I was in Oregon. I was in Yachats, Oregon. Wow. And I commented on one of his videos. And what Matt likes to do is he likes to look at his comments and then click on everybody's channel that doesn't have like a benign picture of just like the letter N or whatever. It's actually got it's actually got a picture to see if they have a YouTube channel. And he clicked on mine. He saw that I had a YouTube channel. He decided to follow along, and then he jumped into one of my live streams. It was probably my dorkiest live stream that I've ever did. I think I talked the last 30 minutes in an English accent. And we emailed back and forth, and now we're gonna caravan throughout the summer.
That's what I hear. And you've got let's see, I don't know what your other sisters. We got one in Colorado. I guess you'll go up that way, and then go up to Montana, and I know the Dakotas or whatever, and then kind of Washington and start coming down to California. Is that kind of the plan?
Matt's really excited to see Redwood National Forest and the 101 into Oregon. After he's watched some of my videos, and after him and I camped together, and I got to tell him some and show him some pictures. He's like, dude, let's just go to Colorado for a week or two. I'll do what I got to do there. And then he goes, let's just go hang out over there. I'm like, I'm down. Let's spend the rest of the summer there. So I got to hold a couple of friends of mine, Sam the Adventure Man from AWP, and Doug Bishop, who's starting his YouTube channel out now. He just skyrocketed, got 6,200 subscribers.
Wow.
And he's the guy, the tow truck guy from AWP. we're all going to do some, Maddie, myself, Sam, and Doug Bishop are going to do some caravanning, and hopefully Tim can come up and we can meet up with Bree and Gina, of course, and Tracy Oceanfire 77 and do some caravanning with some subscribers.
Oh yeah. Oh, great people. Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so cool. Now you have, I guess when you caravan, you won't this way, but your ProMaster, it's white, and it's very stealthy. So you've talked about, you can get out there with the FedEx people or whoever, and it looks just the same as their rigs, and you're good to go. So I don't know when the solar panels get on. I suppose it's still okay, but so are you going to get the solar panels that are the ones that you can do like Ray, or are you going to do kind of the solid monocrystallines?
No, I had the solar panels before I started van life. I ordered them knowing that they were going to go on the roof. When I went back to Ohio and cleaned my storage out, it was to get my solar, my batteries, all my components in my refrigerator, and then get rid of everything else and take some of the stuff down to Mom's house. Stealth for me, it's overrated. Stealth, I mean, I understand if you're a female, and nothing against females, but men are just designed to feel more secure because we're men, and women do have a lot more crimes done to them than men do when it comes to being by yourself out in public. So they have a very good reason to have worries and to be stealth. For me, stealth is very overrated. I'm fine sleeping, with signs saying I'm sleeping in my van, but I have 2 dogs and a gun. I'm fine sitting on the side of the road in Hampton or in whatever tough neighborhoods there are around. I'm fine with that. So
I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. But I'm going to be getting my van wrapped with, the YouTube symbol and things like that. So people know exactly that I'm a YouTuber and I'm probably sleeping in my van.
Good. Okay. So when you're caravan, I guess what I'm saying is you'll be fine wherever you guys stay. You're cool in that regard.
Yeah. We'll be good.
Good. Well, let's see. You're now 100% nomadic, and I guess you have been for about half a year now, almost, isn't it?
January 1st at the strike of midnight, I locked the keys to the house I was renting and I threw them in the mailbox, and I was living in my van at 12:01 a.m.
That must have felt really good now that you're where you're at. I'm sure that you don't, like some people, have second guess on the decisions, but especially get rid of the storage units and this stuff, you don't have that eating hay, so to speak, So you're kind of a free man now, aren't you? And having that freedom is awesome.
The people often say, I wish I did this 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I do wish, if nothing in my life was any different and I could be where I'm at now, I wish I would have started this a year or 2 ago, but I'm glad that I had the experiences I had at work at the end of the last 6 months of my career as an electrical engineer. It made me appreciate van life a whole lot more, and being a minimalist. I mean, I own nothing besides a van and a couple dogs and some components.
Yeah. How did you happen to get linked up with Adventures with Purpose? Here's an idea that Dan had, and it's got like 1.2 million YouTube subscribers now. And somehow you got into the foil there and, provided your service, and the rest is history, as they say.
Well, and I was completely transparent with Jared when I first got in touch with him, and kind of give everybody the premise of how that all started in a short version. Is I knew I was going to van life. I knew I was building a YouTube channel. I knew I needed a network to get started. That it's very difficult to do it on your own in the beginning with nobody saying, go watch this guy. So that's one of the big reasons why I like to plug other channels. That's one reasons why I like to do interviews, and I like to link that I'm over there anyway. So I sent him a message saying, hey, listen, I'm going to be living in my van in January, I'll be living in my van in January. I was a police officer for a very long time. You guys do have some dangers coming your way if you continue to go down this road without any security. I'm offering my services free of charge. I mean, it's all voluntary base. And Jared sent me an email like a month later. He's like, yeah, come with us. When are you going to quit your job? I said, probably in March, but I can take my vacation and meet you anywhere. So he's like, yeah, come with us. So you don't really know the personality of people if you're going to mesh well until you meet them. And after I met him and Sam, we became instant friends. I mean, Sam's one of my best friends on the planet right now.
He's up in Washington is where he lives?
Yeah, he's up in Washington. And but I told Jared on the phone when I first talked to him, I said, don't get me wrong, Jared, I am coming to do this voluntarily, but I am mainly coming not only to help you guys out, but to get some of your subscribers to get them to come over to van life.
Get exposure. Why not?
Get exposure. And he's like, you know what? Thanks for the honesty. Come with us.
And also,
awesome.
I think the fact of the matter, you have skills that you have to offer besides, just providing protection. It's obvious. I mean, being a YouTuber, I'm sure that helps. And I think Jared is really starting to go to the next level of storytelling and editing himself, isn't he?
Yeah, there's kind of a funny story a little bit that I want to go too much into to give some of the privacy up of it. But with me serving as security for Ventures with Purpose, it's very rewarding for one. To be able to help families and to keep Jared, Sam, Dan, and all the equipment safe. But there was a case, I'm not going to say where, with somebody missing, and we know that this person was murdered by another person. I mean, it's 90%. And that person is an ex-felon, and he's out. The families that I was hanging out with, I was keeping them safe while Jared and Sam and Jacob were diving and searching. That person, the actual suspect, actually drove by. I didn't know this until days later, but that suspect drove by, and the family came up and they told me, they said the reason why he didn't stop is because he knows that they have security now.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Yes.
Heavy. But it shows is that you don't want to be the wide-eyed baby, just gets off the turnip truck. You want to be a little bit street smart, and obviously you have become quite street smart. I'm very impressed with the fact is that, not just like the guy on the street, you also are very nuanced because like you talk to Paul and you say, yeah, I know what the crime rate is in the cities in Canada and things like that. So you also are nuanced and study. So you kind of paid your dues, I think.
Yeah. I'm always reading or researching something if I'm not, watching some mindless YouTube channel.
Right.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
Guilty as charged.
I have seen snakes bite so many people on YouTube.
Yeah, in fact, that's a really interesting point is that AWP, they don't get into that level of salaciousness. And when it comes to the emotion or the feeling, it's to support the families if there is one. Not always that way. I mean, there's going to obviously be some things that are kind of fun or oops, where they're starting to get the unit out, but then it punctures one of the buoys and it goes back down again. And who's responsible? And that's, I think, all fun, just like you're doing with your raising back and forth. But no, I think that the underlying tone is that you want to have wholesome, healthy family kind of values for it.
Yeah. And that's one of the discussions I had with them too, is like when we're doing search and recovery or missing person cases, I'm not going to be on camera hardly at all. I mean,
Right.
They might edit me in a little bit, but I told them I'm here for security reasons only.
Right.
But when we do live streams, I'll jump in and have fun because the live streams are very mischievous because we're bringing up vehicles, we're cleaning out waters. It's not for something serious. I'll jump in there and be a dork all day long.
Yeah. So
Hey,
they get, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Kevin, I was going to say, where were you last Sunday when the bear visited my campsite as I'm leaving?
Yeah. Speaking of which,
Who do you think put the bear there?
In fact, Tim, we did that for you so that you could get some video footage. Hello, that was just part of the Actors Guild. You didn't capitalize on it? What's wrong with you?
Well, that was a very trained bear then, hugging the tree.
That's right. Hug the tree. Take a picture. I'm posing now.
You barely got away.
Barely.
I barely got away.
So I guess you're going to be maybe going back in around the fall, I guess, once you kind of make your loop. Or you have another month or two you're going to be out there?
Yeah, we're going to I'm gonna party like a rock star, discovering this whole western side of the country until September, and then I'm with them for 50 days, maybe 60.
Ooh, we said something though. 40 and 50 days, but you said until then I'm going to party like a rock star. Now I know that you've been pretty good to be a teetotaler this year once you got out on the road, but I've got to say the seductive powers of Paula, I think you were having a fair amount of scotch. Now I know that it's okay when it's a pretty looking woman like that, but
Cheers.
Are you? Yeah, that's right. Are you
Give
on the
yourself a
wagon
wee
or
drab,
not?
will you? No, when I say party like a rock star, I mean like just discovering all of Oregon and all of
Oh
California.
yeah,
That's my
like
party.
Gina does. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's cool now, right?
Yeah, that's my party phase. If I'm out here doing what I want to do and I get to film it, I mean that's the best party on the planet for me.
Yeah. In fact, for those who don't know, and I think most of you probably have gathered this by now, but I've studied Tim enough and appreciate what he does enough that, this going around, it's not just to like escapism entirety,
Right.
but, you can get a lot of video footage and Kevin can go out and like see the sites. I mean, a lot of it, sure, it's to with people, meet new people, but you're getting a lot of wonderful footage. And I guess you're also developing your craft in terms of, what types of things you shoot. Are they thematic or the areas you want to shoot? But you're kind of like giving an opportunity, just like your channel said, we can live vicariously through you, but you're always having new stimulus. I get the feeling that's what you want to do.
I'm kind of growing into my clothing, if you will, when it comes to being a filmer and an editor. I was this really, really skinny kid with all these huge clothes that kept me, comfortable and warm. As a filming and editor, now I'm feeling myself fill out for my craft. I'm never going to put a lot of time into editing. I'm going to do just enough to make people, or to have people enjoy it. I'm mainly going to concentrate on the audio side of it, but I'll also bring in as much as I can. You're not going to see these gigantic things popping into the screen with all these nice little graphics and stuff like that. I don't think my viewers want that. They just want to feel emotion and to see the country. And that's kind of what I'm growing into right now. You'll see me take the camera and put it in different directions, knowing the whole time I know what song is going to play on the video.
Yeah, that's very
doing
helpful, right? When you have that where you can kind of visualize. And, I did some wedding photography and videos at a while. And yeah, when you can kind of know that they call it editing in camera, I'm going to need 7 seconds for here. And for this shot, like the groom's reaction shot, 10 seconds were there. I don't need to like get 3 minutes. And yet still, Tim, when I was up in Oregon, it was 33 gigabytes and it was 223 files. Like, what's up with that? But,
Yep.
when I finished the 14 minutes that you saw, it was like I cut out like
Three-quarters of it.
3/4 of it. Yeah.
Was that in 1080p?
Yeah. Well, it was 4K actually. A lot of
Okay,
it.
that explains the gigs.
That's
yeah,
that's a lot.
True 4K. But then my Sony RX100 version 7. Yeah, it's almost 4K, but the files do add up, and at some point, how many of them can you really use? I mean, the good people, it's like they'll make it like 10 minutes and like 5 seconds, because once you get 10 minutes, it does something that we can't do with this. And I don't know, I haven't heard you say it yet, Kevin, but I know your friend knows this, and that is that people watch these, they get one impression with an ad. Whereas if, it happens to be a 10-minute video, they can have 2 or up to 3 ads can be run in that. Now, I don't like the ads. I think they suck. So I have the premium.
Yeah.
I don't mind spending a family so Grace can have one and I can have one. And, it's like, I don't know if it's $10 or $15 a month, but fine. And it still goes to the producers. But when we do our live streams, they can't have a lot of ads. They only get the one ad that they can run, unless people watch after the fact.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't pay attention to ads. I just let YouTube do what it does what it does. I know a lot of people put ads in at certain spots because you want to leave them on a cliffhanger, then an ad, so they watch the ad and come back. I don't care. Just YouTube, do what you do. Don't make it ridiculous. That's all I pay attention to. And I'm not doing this to get rich.
Amen to that. Yep.
So, Tim, I wanted to ask a couple questions for you. And one is, I was so surprised I watched some of your videos. And it's like, I didn't know what the name of your RV was, but I'm seeing your RV and you keep mentioning Deborah. And I'm like, that must be
Deborah?
the name of the, yeah.
No,
And if,
Deborah is my ex-fiance.
oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay. So I'm
Oh
sorry.
my
I brought
God.
that up.
Too many jokes just went into my head.
Whoa. Uh-oh.
Tim's been driving for 3 days straight. I bet he can't wait to get out of Deborah.
Right?
Well, I did see her in like
actually-
just a couple of videos there. One, like the Harvest Toast one. It was really great. And, but yeah, I mean, sometimes people don't want their spouses in there, or significant others, or whatever we have.
Yeah. Actually, Deborah named my Coachman Freelander Flo, Forever Loving Outdoors.
I didn't know that. Oh, so it has an acronym. Wow.
Yes.
That was clever.
Thank you. Well, I give it to her, but she's whatever.
And so anyway, your
She's
channel,
bye-bye.
you like to do, I guess, hiking and eating. You have a lot of stuff on eating and some biking now, I guess, also. So
Yes.
how do you see the direction of your channel going?
I want to be able to show everything that each site or each place that I go to
Be right
has.
back.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So your playlist, you've got 2 on cooking, 4 on shorts, and 43 on RVing, which I think are the heavy hitters, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, I also have the how-tos.
Oh, 5 how-to
on
videos. Yes. Yeah.
and those I'm racking up 3,000. I have 3,000 views on one, 1,800 on another, 1,500.
Yeah,
on
I've got
another.
that here. 3,100 on installing RV screen door protector, and your one on Max Air Fan is doing very well. Almost
Yes.
2,000 now, and so yeah, those are, I think, the secret sauce actually, because you can get a lot of views if you've got something that it kind of boils down to this: what do people want? Now, Kevin's channel is about having relationships with people and people living vicariously. He makes that very clear, and for a lot of us, it's like. We've got a pain. We've got, like a lot of people in vans, like Kevin and Ray and all the rest of them. Paula for sure is, so I need more fans. So a Max Air fan or a Fantastic fan, when somebody's got those, man, right? They want to see Tim's videos.
You can put them on. You can put them on Class C, Class A, vans, ambulances, and it's going to be the same thing. You just for a van, you have to cut into the ceiling, and you want your proper placement for that, right?
It's good. I mean, or you can cut
Yeah.
twice and it's the hole's still too big, but that's a whole nother story.
Well, I guess that's when you put in then 2 side by side then.
That's right. I love it. See, I knew you would have a way. You guys are engineering types. You're good at this kind of stuff. I meant to do that.
Right?
Oh, that's funny. So yeah, you've got a really good rig. And so I guess, the question is where does one start? We're lucky. Our front yard we're right on a cul-de-sac, and the house is a little bit lower than the street. So it doesn't really show up with the tree there. But most people have to put them in storage and things. And I know even up around Folsom area, it must be a little pricey.
Yeah, not Tim. He spent 10 grand to put it on concrete.
Yep. Actually 6, but yeah.
Oh, you poured a concrete pad?
60-foot long concrete pad.
Wow.
I took back the awning alongside the garage, 12 to 13 inches back towards the wall at 10 foot long, so that I have clearance between my roof line of the garage and my neighbor's chain link fence, and I have about 6 inches on each side of the RV to back that sucker up without touching the fence or the roof of my garage.
Neighbors gotta love you.
Oh yeah.
What's 6 inches among friends?
Hi, I have a
Hello.
special request for Kevin.
Yes.
Kevin, there's a special request down there at the bottom.
All right.
Oh, are we gonna do the butt shot? Oh no, not.
There y'all go, girls.
Huh?
Oh, the chair was in the way, Kevin. We're so close yet so far.
Oh my God, my mouse just went dead. I've lost control.
Wow, you lose control over the butt shot? My God,
right? You killed my battery. You just knocked it right out.
Just so they're not vibrating batteries. Stop that.
Whenever I do that, I always double click somebody's mouse.
Well, if anybody else has any questions, we've got about maybe 10 minutes, and we're going to go raid Gina. So if you've got some questions for Kevin and Tim, now would be the time to let them come on in. And thank you all for being here and for your support of Tim and Kevin. And be sure, Grace, if you could, where did Grace go? She snuck off. We need to get their channels there. And if anybody could out there can give the channels where we can get them. And then that brings up an interesting point I did want to mention is that there may or may not be a reason for this, but once you get to, I think it's 100 subscribers, you can then have a channel name. So rather than having like maybe about 10 or 15 digit code, you can have a channel name. So in my case, we're just a little bit short. I mean, California travel videos. And so I think it truncates you after 19 characters. So we're California travel vid. So it's, youtube.com, California travel vid. And I guess you haven't got one yet. And Kevin, it really suck if somebody else got to what I would think your channel name might be if you just used all of your characters, unless you think you might want to change it. Then it's good that because you can have one and then make one more change. We could go from something like California travel vid. I can't do CTV because that's Canadian television, but we could do CTV fun or something like that, or fun CTV. But are you going to get a shortened name at some point?
No,
or what do you think?
I'm so not wanting to run this like a business that I don't care about if somebody wants to do something nefarious and take the Nomoc name or something weird. Everybody knows where it is. Everybody knows where it came from. I just want to drive, shoot, connect, and that's it.
Yeah, that's so cool that you don't have to worry about that fiddle with some of those internal gyrations, I guess.
Yeah, I get so much advice on, dude, you can make so much money doing this. Dude, you should do that. It always starts with dude. Dude, you should do this. You can make so much money.
Yeah. So I guess Gina is not going to be going to. I wonder what's up with that. It's like we're going to have to go cold turkey, aren't we?
I think
she's going to be with the grandkids, it says. Oh,
yes,
okay.
She's with the grandkids.
Guess, Ray has got that also. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. That's good to know.
We've had a couple questions pop up here. There's one of them.
Okay, let's see. QQQ.
But there was a question before that, real quick. Let me find it.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Something about
where will Tim? This is from Call Me V. Kevin and Tim, where will you guys plan on heading for Christmas? I have no idea. Somewhere warm, probably with Tim.
I think you've suggested it would be the Southwest, so I don't think you're going to be up north with Sam. My guess is
Quartzsite is in January.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down.
So
Tim knows where the warm weather is. I'm just going to follow his big butt. His RV. His RV is like 30 feet long.
Seems like, yeah. So, yeah, I shouldn't say we, because Grace didn't want to go. She was going to be extra safe and grandkid duty and everything in January, but got to meet a lot of good boys and girls there. And so, Grace, can I pop you in for a second?
Come on, Grace.
Yeah.
There we go. So finally, last night, speaking about the art of seduction, I got her to agree that in the middle of August, I guess it is, there's an escapees subgroup called the Escapers. And so, I guess we're going to be going about 20 or 30 miles from the Grand Tetons, and there'll probably be JP. I think he has.
Tetons? Seducing?
Yeah, I think there's going to be about 300 RVers to go, and they have a lot of fun. I mean, they party. Don't get you wrong. I mean, it's like a lot of them have kids. A lot of them are in their 40s. But hey, they let old geezers come in as long as they act like a young pup, which I'll never grow up anyway. So
right. I think one of the activities is a parking lot crawl.
And it's a pretty good price too. I mean, it's going to be. I guess I don't think they have hookups there, which is cool for us. We have our solar, but. It sounds like it's going to be a good get together. So I'm glad you finally agreed to it, darling. Thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And we're going to be looking for some floats. So if anybody has any recommendations of cool floats for us to float down the river, leave those in the links. We appreciate you.
Yeah, because we were kind of thinking about, will it be a raft or will it be a kayak? Well, it's going to be inflatable. I mean, we're not. As much as I'd like to be like the Beverly Hillbillies and maybe put a couple of canoes up on the top, we got 4 pretty good sized solar panels there already, so that ain't gonna fly. And we've got the 2 e-bikes in the back, our rad city bikes. So, what do you guys think?
You can be like a redneck. You can be like a redneck and just buy one of those used inflatable, big, huge truck tires, and when it's nice and sunny and you get on that, you burn your butt.
Hey, I need a tan. I don't want to burn, but I could use a tan.
Real men float down the river with 2 blow-up dolls on their arms.
Well,
There
you
you
know, it
go.
was funny,
Ooh.
Michael. We were at the river today, and I lost Michael's attention when I was talking to him. And he turned around real quick, and he's like, "Oh my God, you should see that cute dog over there."
Yeah, that's right.
That'll always get his attention.
The chick magnet, right?
Yeah, that's your thing for sure. Mine too. I like them. Well, we
So,
definitely thank you guys for joining us. It's been really wonderful getting to know you better.
It's
Thank you
5:55.
so
Make a
much.
wish, Grace.
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, it's so nice. And Tim, this was so good that you got your good bud there, because we've seen him online, and it's so nice
Yes.
that you guys are. Yeah, that's right. You guys are both doing it to it. So I'm sure you're looking forward to linking up again, which is, in that case for him, it's like, man, just wait like another weekend wherever he's at. He's going to be coming back soon, right?
I'll be back. I called Tim the other week and I had said, dude, I'm going to be traveling back up. Let's do something.
Nice. And Tim's got a lot of good places, and we found Folsom, didn't we, Grace?
We did. We love Folsom. I lived in Sacramento for 12 years, but never played on the river. And when we found it this time, it's definitely going to be our go-to spot. Yeah, the puppy is actually Siberian Husky. That is Kaliki. But he might have a little Samoya because he is a sweetheart.
Her necklace, I thought something was stuck on my screen. I was cleaning it off. It's her necklace.
Let me clean that.
You're just trying.
Is she trying to visually unwrap your clothes? I
All
don't
right,
know
so
what's going on there.
there is. You guys can
TMI.
adopt it. You guys can adopt it on your channel. Don't look at my boobs.
Yeah, I should wear a bigger necklace.
I'm leaving that one alone. I've only
Well,
had one
that can only go one way from there.
There's another question here. Oh, QQQ is not a question. Okay.
No, it is a question. It's a request. They want to like Spike, so I'm gonna hijack these guys' channel.
Okay, I
real
know
quick
what he's gonna
Like
do.
Spike.
So
because
get
we're-
ready. Listen
We're
to the
gonna do a like
directions.
Spike. All right, right now in the house, we have exactly. I have no idea how many likes they got.
71. I see 71.
71 likes.
Everyone, take your like away right now.
I'm gonna need
Before-
this person, and that person
your
to
like
let
away.
me do my job.
My lesser
Okay.
So if you're new to the channel, you don't know what a like spike is, we do it all the time over the Nomoc experience. We're all going to smash that like button together. We got a few seconds to take your like away right now if you want to, because in 5 seconds, we're all smashing it together. If you're on a PC or Mac, you get that mouse cursor right above that thumbs up button, but don't click it yet because I hit the microphone. And if you're on a phone or a tablet, don't click it yet, but hover right over that thumbs up button because we're all going to smash that like button together. I'm going to count us down from 5, starting right meow. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like Spike! I have no idea how many likes we started with, and I have no idea we have now. I'm going to do the old auctioneer voice. I got a high bit. I have no idea how many likes we have.
One of his many voices.
We
He
went
should have
from,
been,
over there.
we
he
went
should have been
from
on the Game of Thrones, honey, because he could wear many faces and many voices.
69 to
That's what she said.
71.
72.
72.
I see 72. 72 and
73,
rising.
73. Can we get 73?
74.
Oh, he has
Oh,
mastered the
yeah.
algorithms. He's broke the code, ladies and gentlemen.
But-
If you want me to do it, brother, I'll do it for you.
Oh, I want
75.
yours, honey. What's in your glass? Is your glass half full or half empty?
It's half. It's half
It's
ice
just
now.
half house. I mean, half full.
This was
And there's a glass there also.
12-year-old McKellen.
Ooh. Okay, now you know what you need to do tonight, honey.
I do.
Which is
All
That
right,
was-
well, I'm going to drop out. It was, again, great to meet you guys. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you,
And I'll
darling.
let Michael
Okay.
do his thing. Good night.
high five.
Good night. And we are at 78 likes.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Thank you for that. As
Bloody good.
always, this man has got many secrets, many trades. So speaking of trades and things like that, I did have one question for Tim. Your Ninja Foodie Grill. It bakes,
Yes.
it roasts, it does air crisping, it dehydrates, it grills. I mean, what the heck? I mean, that thing is like, does it walk and talk? Is it your new lover, or what's up with this?
No, it does none of the last two things you talked about, unfortunately.
Oh, it doesn't dehydrate or grill?
Well, no, it does.
Oh, it doesn't do the
other two.
last thing. I got it. Right. Okay.
It doesn't complain about how much beer he drinks, so it's not a true girlfriend.
You should have come
Right?
home earlier, Tim. You've been out too late with the boys.
Need to cook food. Cook food now. Open the Ninja Foodie Grill and cook for me.
Honey, you love the dogs more than me. Well, sweetie, if you were shaking your ass every 3:30 in the morning when I came home from the bar, I'd love you too.
Right?
But Tim, I've noticed that you're kind of like myself and also like Kevin. Hey, that's why we like one another. Is that we start off our videos, we're just kind of organic. I mean, it's like the people who are the pros at this in the first 5, no more than 10 seconds, they've made the promise. You've got to paint, and here's the thing that I'm going to fix. And I don't know. I guess it is a winning secret, I suppose. But I think you're more is like your humanity. You don't want to be like a sales sucker, right?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
I
cool.
just go with the flow with it, and make the videos and do my best. If people like the videos, they like them. If not, give me a thumbs down and hit the road, or come back and harass me. I don't care, because you're still watching them, right?
That's the main thing. Yeah.
Somebody asked me, they're like, do you realize that you had a thumbs down before the video even went live? It was on a live stream. And I told them, I don't even pay attention to that thumbs down. It means nothing to me. It means a lot to YouTube. It doesn't matter if it's a thumbs down or a thumbs up. They like to see those because all they care about is advertising. So people that give thumbs down in videos, you're actually promoting that content creator to make more money. So good job on you.
Yep.
Well on you, mate.
Oh, well on you, mate.
If you haven't seen it yet, there is a video by PewDiePie, P-E-U, D-I-E, Pie. And it's so funny because if you search for that name and thumbs down or dislikes, he's got a video that, he's talking to Deep Secret and Google, and they're telling him, no, it's not the thumbs up that gets the code. What triggers if you want a lot of subs, it's the thumbs down. And so he asked everybody to do a thumbs down. He got over 1 million thumbs down on that video, including mine. And it doesn't make any, as long as you get engagement, is what Kevin is saying, you're good to go. And that's what they want.
Yep.
If you give a comment, if you give a like, if you give a dislike, hey, it's all good. It's some kind of like reaction. The worst thing to do, and for any of you that've got like only like maybe 10 or maybe 20 subscribers, the worst thing to do is to watch your videos afterwards, and you only watch it for a little bit, and then you close the browser, because that's a signal to YouTube to say, this is poisonous video. It's people not only don't watch other videos, but they get off of YouTube, and like, this is what we don't want. So when you get hundreds or thousands of subs, it's not like it's going to make much of a dent if you close the browser watching your own videos. But if you're one of the few people that watch it, don't do something to discourage YouTube from showing more. And Grace she's given me things, and it says, oh yes, thanks to the mods. Thank you, darling. That's something I don't always remember. I need to have my, the pilots, they have their list of all the things. And we don't have to close it because Gina's not on, if you didn't hear. He's with the grandkids. Oh, and Grace says she has to cook, so she's going to give me a little bit of time before I have to prepare some toddies for my bride.
Toddies. Let me touch on that that clicking off the video thing for a minute.
Yes.
'Cause what I learned just recently here is pretty huge for content creators. So this is for content creators. If you have a longer than 45-minute video, YouTube is dumbing down their algorithm by 90% not to pay attention to click out rates, which is basically when somebody closes the channel. They want to see view durations per channel. So if I'm Joe Schmo and I'm watching X video, they will keep an algorithm to say, did he finish watching that? Now, video is under 18 minutes. This is just what I'm reading. It's not from YouTube. It's not from anybody that's affiliated with YouTube. Anything under 18 minutes, YouTube is putting 90% of their algorithm into that video, saying if people stick around for more than 60% of that video, I'm going to promote this. So if you can keep people for 16 minutes, or I'm sorry, 12 minutes out of 20 minutes or whatever, you're good. You're good and you're golden. It's the people that can't keep people in those. Their algorithm, from what I'm reading, really hits hard in 10%. If you put something up, that's 20 minutes long, and 2 minutes later, most people are clicking off that video. YouTube's not going to push you. Now, the kicker is the live streams. What YouTube is doing, remember, I'm just reading this. It's not from YouTube. It's nobody affiliated with YouTube. I'm just reading this, is that your live streams don't count because most live streams are an hour, 2 hours.
Correct.
I've seen live streams like Traveling Adventure or Mike's channel.
The Adventures of Traveling Mike. Yeah.
He was up for like 48 days or whatever straight.
26. It was a lot of days.
Nobody's going to watch all that. So YouTube, believe me, and YouTube knows their stuff. They take 40% of everything that this guy, and this guy makes. They take 40% before taxes. And where does most of the money come from? It isn't from people watching videos. It's not from ads. It's from live streams. So why would they stop promoting people's live streams? Because super chats. They make 45% of every super chat. If I put a video out and it makes $80, it takes like 10,000 views for it to make $80 over a month's period of time. If I make $80 in a live stream, YouTube's like, ooh, free money.
Yeah,
so they're not going to punish
They
us.
take 30% of that.
Just like that.
Yep.
Yeah, as long as they have some source. So as I say, if like say AWP, they make about a half a penny per. It depends on your CPMs. You know, some they can advertise. Well, let's say you have Class A RVs. Well, yeah, if they can have advertisements with other people like Thor or Airstream or whomever, Prevost, and you know that they can make a lot of money off of those. They can sell expensive ads. If you're doing cheap RV living with Bob Wells and most of his people are like, no, I don't have a lot of money to spend, they're not going to get as high a click-through rate. But the point is just like you said, if you can have where, even though it's a live stream, but there are super chats that are coming in, then yeah, they're getting their 30% of it. So they're not going to discourage that. No, as long as they find some revenue stream.
This is
where
where
they do that.
This is where the two type of content creators comes into play. If you're a connection base or if you're a content base, a storyline base, because YouTube's not going to not promote Chrome's videos because he's not doing much live streams. They're going to promote his videos because he's got 3 years of data that says I put out 5 videos a week. So YouTube is going to like, I'm nailing that guy. I'm putting ads on his videos. We're good to go. Now, if Chrome decides to all of a sudden, I want to do 5 live streams a week, they're not going to stop promoting his content, but they're going to do it in a different way. If you click on van life, you're not going to see Chrome right off the bat. If you click on live streams, you're going to see Chrome right off the bat. That's why you need to stick with your niche and not change your niche too much. I am a connection-based channel. I do 2 live streams a week. Ray is really good at putting out many live streams a week. If he sticks with that, you're going to see Ray at the top of the list when it comes to when you click on van life or live.
Yep,
Amen.
there you go.
Say, by the way, Kenneth out there, a.k.a. Fordman, a.k.a. Kenny, a.k.a. Kenneth Oaks, thank you so much for being a great mod today. And I just always love to come over your channel. He's the nicest person. He's a graduate now. You know, he's qualified to start working on autos. So support him in any way you can. He's got a great channel. He gives back so much to the community. It's a lot. And I see Renee there also. Thank you for coming by. Ray is there. Call me Vi. A lot of you people are still here. Redheaded, love you, ton. And Brooke and everybody, thank you all for being here. Lisa, Prairie Life, Annie Mae. You know, it really helps us so much to kind of feel that we're doing something that is helpful for you. And if we're not, you know, put in the comments on what we can do to be better. Hey, you know, we're not too thick skinned. I may need to have a little toddy or something and let it digest it, but eventually it sinks in. So, and if some of these things that Kevin is giving, which is such great information, you know, he's the guy to watch, man. He's got both rockets on. He's going up. So thank you so much for that, Kevin. Those are great things you're sharing. And how about you, Tim? Do you have anything else that you want to share?
No, not really. Just keep watching my channel. I have more videos coming out, and I'll be meeting up with more people here and there. So everyone have a great night, and yeah, I'll definitely be seeing him soon. So
absolutely.
Yeah. That's about it.
And if you don't mind a third wheel or things like that, I guess,
I I definitely want you to hang out with us, dude. Come on, seriously.
Would love to. Yeah, it's like, and hey, Kaliki, he's good. He likes other dogs. He may like to. He doesn't look at butts, but he likes to sniff them a little bit. But he doesn't push it. He tries to keep it. So yeah, he's a good boy, and so we love to get out on the road and get linked up with you all. And if it's not till courtside in January, whatever. But as
Maybe
I like
we can
to
do
say,
Folsom Lake.
oh, that
Yeah,
would be
I'm
good.
down.
I mean, I tell you, we would go up there in like 2 hours. We can be there with our RV and, to get our bikes out or just to hang out there. But the American River, even in the summertime, it's just the temperature doesn't get over the 70s, does it, for the water itself?
Oh, the water itself? I don't believe so.
Yeah, because I'm a sissy when it comes to cold water. But as long as it's in the 70s, I'm good to go. I just don't do this, cold water where they turn the men into boys. You guys know what I mean. Know what I'm talking about here now. It's like, not that
The Polar Express.
that's right.
Have either one of you
Exactly.
guys been to the Alabama Hills?
I have not yet. And I still haven't been to Joshua Tree. I haven't done any camping down in Southern California yet with my RV.
November, I'm inviting both of you guys to the Alabama Hills, November 1st-ish, around that time. I invite every
Wow.
single person in this chat. I'm going to say it in other videos. I'm going to try to get Ray to come meet
Wow.
up with us. November's probably the best time to be in the Alabama Hills. And I
Yeah.
guarantee that
Okay.
you cannot find a prettier sight than seeing those two mountains behind you.
I don't know if Ray's going to let me, though, because I've got, with my battery of drones, it's like that's his. I won't run my drone any more than he'll let me, but he's got some wonderful footage there around the rock formations there. It is gorgeous.
My very first edit of the Alabama Hills was my first mess up when it comes to editing. That was my first major mess up.
That we've all been there. I mean, you got to sometimes, like my Danish buddy, he would say, his father told him is, Paul, you must listen or you must feel. And sometimes we have to feel, but man, those are the lessons we remember very well.
It's Eat haben.
Yeah. And Teresa,
there's my
very
Danish.
good. Very good. Teresa's there. And Mike, and speaking of which, Mike is, he had one where he's going through the canyon and he went into, what is it? Sport mode, which you turn off the sensors, it goes faster. It wasn't a bad thing. You had to replace the props. And then the next one, when we were down at Elise Falls, it was like, well, it was thirsty. In fact, it wanted to take a dip in the water. And so he gave it the rice bath after. But man, that thing, it's a smaller one. It's an Air. And that thing, he resurrects it every time. So good for you.
Me not putting my drone in sport mode is the reason why it's at the bottom of the lake.
Yeah.
And I was above water.
Yeah, I don't. Well, in fact, when we were at Elise Falls, I don't know if you saw the video there that I had, Tim, but it was like, I'm going through between some tree branches or that far.
I've seen that.
I'm going to like, sometimes it's like, it goes through it, but if it's like thin enough, the sensor may not catch it.
That is why you guys all need to drop the drones that you have now and go get the Mavic Mini 2. It's only got down sensors and you can turn those off with sport mode. If you watched my Oregon video where I'm flying through all those trees, it's because there's no sensors on the drone.
Right?
You live in the fast lane, my friend, in the fast lane.
Oh, for criminy sake, get your act together, will you?
It only hurt for just a minute, I promise.
Don't touch the red button.
I broke some propellers. I got to put some new ones on.
Well, they have the one button, which it's got a symbol on it, but it's basically the RTH. It's the return to home. Mm-hmm. But sometimes if you screw up, it does the RTC. It returns to China. Bye-bye.
Oh, Mavic's made in America. Sure.
But I know about you guys, but I'm going out like for... if it's not too far off the water, for some reason, I don't get quite so nervous. But when I'm, out there a ways, I've done the compass calibration ahead of time. I'm pretty thorough on that. And, I know how much battery I got. I make sure I'm not like going downwind when I'm coming back in the wind. But somehow the sphincter muscle gets a little bit tighter when you're out there quite a ways.
Another reason why you buy the Mavic Mini. It's so much more acceptable to lose $500 than $1,500.
Right?
Yeah, sometimes I think we should just have a long tether and you just start like reeling it in.
I'm not sponsored by DJI, but if they want to shoot me an email,
Why
we can do
not?
that.
Yeah.
I took mine up 400 feet, and I took it about a quarter mile away, or I don't know if it was a quarter mile. It was less than a quarter mile. I could just barely see it, and I lost signal on my cell phone.
Yeah.
And no
Wow.
video. And I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, I need to visually turn this around and bring it back the other way, back to me, because I had no sight, nothing. All I seen was just a little pin dot.
Do you want a
And
little piece of advice on that? If you lose
Yeah.
signal, full right stick, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, forward stick, and just keep pushing forward stick.
Okay. Yeah, it was crazy though. I'm like, I cannot lose this.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can happen out there, and just even your camera gear. I don't know if you've ever like see my Sony camera. It's unlike my Canon. Yeah, it's like you got to be careful, man. That thing will slip out of your hand. You have the Osmo there?
Pocket
That
2
thing- Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
it just follows you around.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Yeah, and it's one of the nice things about that. It's so portable, and you can slip it in your back pocket, and yet it's easy enough. For a lot of them, they're bigger and they're just a little bit more clumsy to kind of take around if you're going on a hike or something. You have to have the backpack, and don't I know?
Don't
And
you
here,
know?
Linda says she has 2 drones and is still not taking them up. Well, yeah, sometimes we don't get our toys up as quick as we would like to.
You
That's
can't
a whole
lose
other story.
You can't lose a drone when it's still in the case.
That's
Oh,
true.
yep.
And that's true.
Yeah.
Well, what else, guys? Anything else before we go ahead and start to wrap it up a little bit? What you got going on tomorrow?
Well, I do want to plug one channel real quick, and that is if anybody knows who Karen is. For me, I love content of people that are real. I've quit so many big, and you guys know probably most of these channels I'll never mention because they turn out to be a little faker than I want them to be. One of my favorite channels is Karen's channel. Karen, if you can link your channel for anybody, if you have the rights to do it. She is 100% pure, guys. That's why I love watching her videos. I don't comment on them. I always like them because I don't want to put my name on her channel. She is so real. Check her stuff out. I love her. Prairie Life. Go link her
Prairie,
channel.
I did see Prairie. Hey, thanks for being there. And speaking of which, is that one of your faves is Annalisa's mom, and I think it's kind of like your Northern Light, almost like a coach and a mentor. And you've commented that she
Very good. Very,
gives
very,
you
very
some
good
direction
people.
on comments, right?
Oh yeah, she's a very good person. Her and her husband, I mean, they're the salts of the earth. They talk about paying it forward. These guys, and I'm not going to go into detail with those, with
No.
how they do things or private stuff for them, but they're definitely a North Star or a beacon for me to stay the person I am, because it really shows me that there are some amazing people on this planet, and they're, like I said, they're the salts of the earth.
And I think it's so interesting where, some people you can have nice relationships with, and but there are some people out there that I'm not getting into Rick Warren, whatever, but it's this thing, purpose-driven life. I mean, as long as we know what it is, and I'm going to go back to Tim Smoyer, video creators. He's got 8 people that work for him. He's very successful. He knows all the people in YouTube, and he's a really nice guy. Like I say, he's got 7 kids. He's had a lot of stress in his life, but his mission is essentially to help others, to help their communities. I mean, it's like to make the world a better place by helping others. I mean, how can you think of anything better than that, I guess? And so I think when you're talking about Annalisa's mom or things, is that those people that are out there that are give, that's like, sure, when you want to ask them, I'm there for them.
Yeah, there's 2 types of people on this planet that I've learned in my 45 years on this planet, and I've had a mix of all people that I've been friends and family members with. And either you want to become rich, are rich, and you want to stay that way, and that's your life, or you want to become rich or you're rich and you want everybody else to experience your fortune. Those two type of people are the main two type of people on this planet. So I learn a lot from people, and I want to be that kind of person. If I make $10, I want to give you $5.
That is so true. I mean, as long as you're got where you're feeling like you got a good balance, because, this is an interesting thought. I did want to discuss it now that you mention it, is that people that have self-confidence are sexy. Not that they're cocky, but, it's like there is an attraction to people who feel like, I'm not going to be taking unnecessary risk, but I don't mind if it's something that I feel in my heart it's worthwhile. I think you feel like, if I don't have a parachute, I'm going to figure something out. It's not like, Paul is a good, for instance, is that, you've got like 10 or 20 years, better part of more than 10 before you get to retirement age. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's their model, is to say, I'm close enough and I'm comfortable enough. This is the way I want to live my life. But in your case, is you've realized is that you can always land on your feet. And so you believe in yourself and you trust your abilities and your networks that it's going to be okay. And so you've got more of capacity to give, is what I'm saying.
I have a lot less to lose than people who take value in things. My value is everybody I surround myself with. That's my value. I can never be poor. I can never go wrong. I can never be hurt or lonely because of all of you guys, because of, my two dogs and the friends and family that I have that are close and personal to me in life. There are a lot of people that think that as long as their bank account is huge, then they have security, and there's no fault in either side. I just know that I know what I need, and I have all I need. No matter what comes in the future, I have my bank account set, which has nothing to do with money by any means.
Mm-hmm. But, I also, another side of that, it's okay to be clever, not necessarily shrewd, but the fact is that, you knew that you had an opportunity and had some value to give to somebody else. And you said, I don't need the money, but, candidly, I'm going to level with you, is that if I can help this to grow my channel, because I do want to, my business model is to kind of give back and to share my adventures. And it's kind of, when you've got synergistically where it fits right into what AWP is doing, it's like, it's the perfect business model, because it's easy to go through that know, like, and trust, because you don't have a hidden agenda.
Yeah, it's really important to always be upfront with people. If you want something from them, let them know. Don't let them figure it out. And I wanted something from Adventures with Purpose. I was giving to them, but I also wanted something from them. And everything's a trade in this life, and that's how this country was started. It wasn't because a bunch of millionaires was giving money to all these businesses. No, it was I'm going to trade fixing your roof if you tend to my horses, that type of thing. And I believe that's where we should get back to. And as long as you're honest with people, they're 100% comfortable with you. It's when you're dishonest is when they're not comfortable with you.
Yeah, no, because there sadly is, some people, whether it's a hidden agenda, but you realize is that there's some kind of a hook that is like, is it a bait and switch? Now, I had something just kind of sharing a little bit of vulnerability. It's like I've had braces when I was a teen, but you get the wisdom teeth starting to come in later, and you don't have the retainer anymore. And so, it's like, do I have to worry about my teeth that much? No, but the lower ones, it's like when I take a bite of an apple or something, it's like, I'd like to maybe get it fixed at my senior age. But so there's Smiles, I think it is. And they happen to have a truck that was going to be coming up 20 miles away. And I think, it doesn't cost anything to have, like the 3D scan. And, that they're probably going to do some kind of an upsell, but yet, as long as it's not like, you have to have it financed and there's real high finance, because I know I'm just going to pay for it on the credit card. But, for 4 to 6 months, and it'll be a done deal. And I know there'll be a certain amount of pain to wear these, it's the transparent type of tap. But, I'm okay with that, because I know going in is the way the game is going to be played. But I think we see these things all too often. And now, Kevin, you've been getting it more and more lately, where you get to have some popularity, and there's a lot of not just spam, but there's a lot of things if you click on, you're going to go to bad places and you're going to have some either malware or something's going to take over your computer. And so you got to be like we're a little bit street smart.
I never open up a link on my Gmail account. I never do.
Right.
I only have one email account, and that's NomocExperience@gmail. Even if rarely I'll open links from people I know, rarely, but I've made it a practice now. I even tell people on my live streams, if you're sending me something and there's a link to it, if it's a picture or whatever, I'm not opening it in Gmail. I am setting up Discord tonight. My next thing after this live stream is for that sole reason, for me to be able to look at stuff, is I'm creating a Discord account, and that's where everybody can send me pictures and share with pictures back and forth, where I don't have to worry about any type of malware. It all comes from my phone, not my PC. I open it up, I can see it, it's fine, I don't have to worry about it. And that's people have been begging me and asking me, please finish Discord. Do you have Discord right there?
No, but this is just my texts.
Yeah.
And once in a while there's a text there and it's like, oh, Amazon gift. And it's like, oh, really? No, baby. Yeah. Even the texts these days, there's some of them are out there that, they want to basically do some things. Next thing you know, your Amazon account, they've taken control of it. They go through Facebook and they take control of your Facebook. And then you got okay, sometimes people don't get their Facebook accounts back. And it's like, that sucks. We should have two-phase authentication. I won't get into that, but yeah, we have to be just a little bit careful with some of these bad actors, as they call them.
So, and my channel, my connection, because I'm a connection-based channel, like I've said before, it's kind of suffered a little bit because of, malwares and things like that. It's not stuff that we can control. We just have to take avenues to fix it, and that's why Discord is. I recommend anybody, content creator, if you want to connect with your audience, get a Discord account.
Yeah, I mean, some people, they like to do Snapchat and all these others. I don't know. It depends on it. Basically, once you know what your target audience is, this is so important. What value you have and what's your target audience and what's the best way to find them. I mean, obviously, some of these, they have a lot more for gamers or whatever, and that's okay. But as long as you know to go there, I mean, some are more like photo oriented. And so Instagram might be great for some of that. But as we discovered, Kevin, you've only got so many hours in the day. And if you get a lot of channels and a lot of different outlets you've got, all of a sudden you are a slave and you're not even able to get with all your people that you want to be with because you're too busy with the systems.
Can I touch on that for 1 second?
Please. I would love to.
I've had to make a decision based on that exact topic. And it's not a decision I'm comfortable with, but it's temporary. The number one reason why I went from editing 4 videos a week down to 1 and filming that whole time was because the decision I just made. I am reading every comment on every video. If it's a live stream, if it's an edited content, if it's Patreon, if it's an email, I'm reading every comment. If it's on YouTube, I've read it if you see a heart. If you ask me a question, I will 100% answer every single question. That started on my 5,000 subscriber. I went from working on YouTube, comments alone, not emails, just comments alone, 10 hours a week. I went from 10 hours a week to saying, okay, I'm touching base with these people in live streams and in emails and through Patreon. I'm going to heart their comments if they're making a comment. I'm going to respond if they're asking a question. And I'm going to give myself 1 day a week to edit. I'm concentrating on them 100%. So now if you make a comment on my video and you only see a heart, I read it. If you ask me a question, I'll answer it.
Tracy. Hey, hon, how are you doing out there? Good. And thank you so much. Super Chicker. It's so nice. You don't know what it means to us. I really do appreciate that. It's nice to give back. And I really enjoyed your company when we were out there up in God's country.
She is responsible for all my videos in Oregon. Tracy Oceanfire 777.
Oh, is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. What a sweet person. And here's another one, kind of like you, Tim, is like, don't do anything bad. I mean, her and her profession, it's like stuff happens, when you're out there
Yep.
firefighting or whatever it happens to be. In yours, you're just kind of minding your own business, but things happen with your job. And then once again, when you get hit, like from a very freak thing where somebody hits you and kind of like it changed your life. And I got to say, Tim and Tracy, it's not like you're victims. And if you were, I wouldn't feel bad. I certainly wouldn't judge you. But these people that have these travesties that have happened in their life with careers or things like that, and we're just blessed. I mean, it's the amount of bravery and just compassion towards others. It's like, I find it just really humbling. So
Yes.
you're very sweet. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
He's good.
And look who's here. Speaking about another person, there's Nomoc Sporadic, one of your buds. And
Yeah, good
so
dude.
how's his rig going? I know he's been down for a while, and this sometimes happens, but what's the latest?
He's up and running. He's got it running, and it's running good. He's waiting for another part to show up, and it wasn't cheap. Being a van dweller, living in your vehicle, the most expensive account is the gas account. The second most expensive account is the repair account, and it doesn't come like gas does. It doesn't come every day or every other day or every week like gas does. It comes at $2,000. Bam! There's June. So that's what happened to him. He's already had 2 engines in that vehicle. He's doing good, and he's just he's a good guy. So his YouTube channel is going to explode one day, and I can't wait for that to happen.
Yeah, and that's a good point, is that some of these people that are out there, the real people, is, go by and see their channel. And if you do nothing more than watch some of the videos and, that was enough for right now, that's okay. But, if you could do a like or a comment, even if it's, for me, constructive criticism, I'll be fine with that. It's okay. Hey, it's a comment, and I've sometimes, my diatribes go on too long. Grace, pray for her, because she'll be the first to tell you. But yeah, no, I think it's good when we go by and people like that, especially when they're well-meaning and they're trying to give big value back there. So,
well, Nomoc Sporadic, John, he's a huge reason why I'm living in a van right now. So him, Maddie Van Halen, they're 2 gigantic reasons why I'm living in a van.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where are you heading to next?
Why don't I come see you?
Come on. If you want to come to Sonoma, Petaluma, it's
Let's
like, hey, man, that would be cool. I mean, it's like if you can get by with 110 volts, you can come stay here. There's not a problem at all.
That's 109 volts more than I usually get per day.
I asked Kevin if he wanted a 30 amp hookup, and he's like,
for what?
I don't have a plug for that.
What would I do with that? Yeah.
We'll set something up offline. How about you and I get together? And I'm in California.
That would be cool.
And when I head up north, I'll come see you.
We know the good spots around here. And hey, I'm kind of like being a retiree. It's like you never have any free time. But, I normally, if I can, I get together with Mom. She's 94 years old up in Santa Rosa. And so we check that off, and then it's kind of like, what next? So it's like the videos will always be there to edit, but we've decided that we would go, rather than 2 videos a week, is we'll do 1. It's Thursdays. There's a lot of other great guests out there for live stream, and so Donovan, he had an opening there, and so I thought, well, okay, we're going to go ahead and do this one on Saturday. That's great. But the other one on Tuesday, we were doing it Friday, and then Grace had some things with occasional grandkids, so we went to Tuesday. And so I guess I'd like to do a focus on kind of quality, but right now, and I've learned to say, hey, I can do my Saturday show out on the road, just kind of like the big boys, like you do now, Kevin. So once you get your methodology, it's kind of like, bada bang, bada boom, right?
Yeah, it's just natural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's natural.
Oh, that'd be cool. So yeah, give me a call, and when you're in the area, and if not this time, next time. So we'll make that happen. And if you want to come along with us, I don't know if you can get a day off, Kevin. I imagine. I'm sorry, Tim. Your time's off is maybe like dependent upon the acquisition, but that would be good. I like that.
Sounds good. Yeah.
So okay, all. Thank you for being here. Anything else before we go?
Yeah,
I just wanted to say my last parting words. This is my quote. Realize your dreams, fulfill your dreams, and be prosperous in life because time will pass you by.
Ooh.
And that leaves you time for exploring.
And there you go.
Yeah.
we
Well, by
didn't
the
even
way,
practice that.
I had my kind of something here for, I don't think you'll probably be able to see this too much, but my hat here, let's see if it will focus.
Warning,
Come
if
on,
you wear this hat, you will lose your
Warning,
hair.
warning,
You
warning, Will
you didn't read your
Robinson.
hat. You
Come
didn't read your hat
on,
before you wore it.
focus, baby. Well, what it says is this follows. This, California has these warnings and everything you buy. California Proposition 65 warning. I carry bullets containing lead, a chemical known to cause the state of California to cause cancer, birth defects, and other reproductive harm. Now, I only have paintball guns, but I just thought you would maybe appreciate that since you were into
Nice.
enforcement there. So,
My favorite sign that I ever saw was a guy put in his front yard, I don't have any guns, but my neighbor has less.
There you go.
how about you guys? Either of you do any paintball? Have you ever
I
done
did.
that?
I did a long time ago.
Yeah.
I got tired of getting
Paintball,
hit in the face.
Paintball? No. I have real weapons.
The
Target
real
practice.
deal. Yeah.
I do want to mention something to everybody who's in chat right now, and you had 70 some people here at one point in time. I've been gifted with always seeing like 7 steps ahead when it comes to strategizing and recognizing what the future is going to be. Everybody who's in chat right now and everybody who watches this video afterwards on my channel, on Tim's channel, or Mike's channel, and the other channels that we're all tied into, what all these channels have created and what this sphere of family that we have now through all these channels is something that's going to be looked back on in a few years. Like, I wish we were a part of that. I wish we got in with those guys. I wish we were in the first months of the chat or the first years of the chat. This community is going to be a huge part of the future when it comes to people finding friends and family, where it's going to become a niche on YouTube. You guys are here. You're at the pivotal point. You are the first members, the elders of this community of friends, of this community of nomads, boondockers, people who live in their house and their weekenders. But more importantly, you guys are the pivotal point and the reason why this community is here, for that future to be envious of all you guys and all of us that are here together. So for that, I thank every single one of you for creating this. I didn't do it. Tim didn't do it. Mike didn't do it. No, it was all you guys. And there's no way I could be on this road every single day if it wasn't for you guys. So from the bottom of my heart, very, 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 very much so, I say thank you to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was such good words. And just to reinforce one thing on that, then I'll go ahead and go because Grace is kind of wanting to give me the hook.
Very well said,
But, but I guess that, feel free to be part of the community. I know sometimes it's like, well, will they like me, or do I have this or that? I mean, look at Kenneth Oakes there. When he was born into this world, there he is with MS and things like that. But don't let whatever it has limit you. In fact, embrace the things that make us different, the gifts that we have, and the things where it's okay to ask for help. We're there to kind of make the world a better place. So don't feel that by, the fact that, well, am I not the cool kid on the block? No, we're all can be as cool as we want to, and we all have our gifts. So, become part of these communities. And if there's things that you can reach out to the community and help others, do that also. And so
yes,
I think it was one of the recent reviews and interview that I did. It's like said, if all the world had people who were RVers, the world would be a better place. I really do believe that is true. So, thanks for being here for today and taking the time out of your precious day, and have a great rest of the Memorial Day. So I think that's about it for here. Appreciate Kevin. You've been great. Tim, thank you for bringing Kevin. That was like the best gift I've had here for a long, long time. So thank you.
Much appreciated.
Okay. As we always finish up with, I don't want to say, happy trails until we meet again.
I want to bid you a very fond farewell, my friend.
He goes, happy trails until we meet again. Happy trails to you until we meet again. And I know you guys know this one. Peace out. Bye for now.
Deuces.